We are looking at question 28 on your GACE ETS Practice Math Test 022. And this question, it's amazing to me how reading comprehension really comes into play in these questions, because they're not hard questions. It's just you have to really read it carefully, because this is a situation where you have 5 districts and there's one district that's bigger than 3 of the others, and then one district that's smaller. They are in a ratio of 6 to 5 to 5 to 4 to 5. Those are the ratio of the number, those are actually the ratio of the number of registered voters in each of those 5 districts. Now, a candidate has to get 12.5% of the registered voters in 3 or more of the city's 5 districts. Okay? Now, if you were strategizing, and let me just show you kind of here. If you were strategizing on how you could knock on doors, go door to door, and get the most or the closest to 12.5%, you know, the biggest bang for your buck, basically, wouldn't you then only focus on, let's say, the 3 smallest districts? 2 of those 3 are the same size as one that we're not including, but you could actually focus and try to get 12.5% in each one of those and just ignore the larger district. It's not a nice way to campaign, but those rules are you have to get 12.5%, and what is the minimum number. So let's just assume that we're not even going to try to get voters in the 6 and the 5, in the top 6, or in the 6 and the top 5. We're only going to focus on 4 to 5 to 5. That is the very least amount of work that we would have to do. In each of those, though, I've got to get 12.5%. Okay, so let's just pretend that there are only 4 people in one of those districts, 5 people in another, 5 people in another. You know what? Better yet, sorry, changing my mind here. Let's pretend that each one of these little guys represents 100. Okay, 100 people. So there are only 400 people in that first district, 500 in the second, 500 in the third. Okay, so if I wanted 12.5% of this district with 400 people, all I would have to do is go, okay, 400 times 12.5. So there's going to be 12.5 people in each district. Oops, sorry. Dumb. It's 12.5%, folks. 400 times 0.125. Okay? That would be 50 people. All right? I'm going to do 500 times 0.125. Okay, so 50 and 62.5. So I would need to get 50 people to sign the petition here, 62, and let's just pretend that half a person can sign, and 62.5 people here. All right, that's the minimum number that would, let's see what it was they were trying to do again. They've got to do a petition where 12.5% in 3 or more. Okay, so the question is, in order to be a candidate, what is the minimum percent of the total number of registered voters that have to sign that petition? So essentially what we're looking at here is, if you got 50 people, 62.5 and 62.5, so that would be 125, and 50 was 175 people who sign, right? Out of, it wants out of everyone in the district. So that would be 600, 500, so that's 1,100 plus 400, which is 1,500, right? So that's, is that right? Yeah. So that's, then it's 2,000, and then another 500 is 2,500. So if 175 sign out of a grand total of 2,500 people, let's look at what that percentage is. So that would be 175, clear, 175 divided by 2,500, enter, and we're going to multiply it by 100 to put it back in percentage form. That is 7%. So it is possible to become a candidate with only 7% of the vote. C is the answer.